In the small town of Cadillac, Michigan, population 10,000, Cadillac High School's Friday night homecoming game in early October has long been a cherished tradition, as well as the homecoming parade hours earlier. But it's the parade for the Vikings that went through town in 1975 that has never been forgotten by anyone here, because it looked like this. Jim Neff is the man who brought the rock band Kiss to Cadillac some 3 decades ago. Back in 1974, he was an assistant coach with a problem. The Cadillac defense was finding itself back on its heels on the field because they were way too tight in the locker room before games.
Back then it was game face on, everybody was stern, and no one cracked a smile.
It was pretty somber, and the kids were really down, and they weren't having any fun.
I said, well, let's play some rock and roll in the locker room. I have the perfect band because their name is KISS, and KISS stands in football for Keep It Simple Stupid.
They'd put the 8 tracks in, and we have a guy that'd bring his 8-track player on the bus, and we'd listen to it on the bus. It was a long time ago.
0-2 when they started playing KISS, the Vikings never lost again, winning 7 in a row. During the streak, Jim Neff called KISS's management to share the news.
We heard about it from the coach of the team and from the school, who were tremendously proud of the fact that this team that went from worst went to first. And what they used as their battle cry and their rallying music was KISS.
In the off-season, a plan was hatched for KISS to hit Cadillac for homecoming in October of 1975. Once the band agreed, Jim Neff got school and town officials to sign on.
Coach Bryant's turned to me and he said, this is either going to be the greatest event in the history of Cadillac football, or we'll both be looking for jobs on Monday.
On the afternoon of Thursday, October 9th, 1975, KISS arrived at Cadillac High School, and the party was on.
Gene Simmons climbed out the sunroof and got up on top of it and spread his wings, and I thought, oh no, this is going to be something.
And when they came to town, the football team, the cheerleaders, and some of the band people, we met them on the football field, and everybody had their face painted.
Seeing all the football players in KISS makeup was surreal. It was like landing on Planet KISS, which incidentally we own as a trademark.
Here they are with these 6-inch heels out here, running past patterns, catching the football. They're just smiling, having the time of their lives.
I remember running out onto the field and thinking, gee, I hope these make it through without, embedding me in the field.
They were the absolute nicest, polite young guys that you'd ever want to talk to. Definitely interested in us as a team, and they just cared.
Gene Simmons also found himself caring for head cheerleader Melissa Cotton.
He was interested in what I had to say. And when you're 16, not many people are interested in what you have to say.
Younger siblings and teachers' kids also got some time with the band.
There was a 5-year-old boy who I was having an argument with, and he was criticizing me for putting on the makeup wrong. And I'm arguing with him and saying, look, you're not qualified to say that. You just learned how to wipe your butt. I know how to put on. I'm Gene Simmons. He goes, yeah, but the corner doesn't have the downward swoop. You went up. Sure enough, the little putz was right.
The stage was now set for a full-out KISS concert in the school gym.
What was the sound of it like?
Loud. But if it's too loud, you're too old.
The show was less about KISS and more about the football team. It was a celebration for everybody. You won, we won. We're here to pay you homage.
Things didn't get truly surreal until the next morning at a civic breakfast, when the band was honored by the mayor and city council, all in KISS makeup.
Is it bizarro world? It's kind of like that. You know, you suddenly see the mayor and all these politicians in KISS makeup, and I'm thinking, is he going to get reelected like that?
Next came that homecoming parade, ending with fans and the band back at the field.
We assumed they were all going to get in limos and drive away. And out over Lake Cadillac came a gigantic helicopter, landed dead center in the football field.
The band dashed to the chopper, but not before Gene Simmons made his way to the head cheerleader who was waiting to say goodbye.
I thought he was going to give me a hug, and instead he picked me up and he said, "I could take you home with me." And just then my dad, who was in his cop uniform, stepped around the side and said, "Over my dead body."
The helicopter lifted off. Then, suddenly, something was fluttering down. Thousands of things. A love note from the band to Cadillac.
Everybody's just scrambling to get the flyers. It was kind of a treasure. You know, I got one. I still have my flyer after 35 years.
To this day, I still look back at that and go, that's something, you know, that most people will never, ever get to experience on either side, either the ones who were there or a band.
34, 35 years later, they hold us in high esteem, Cadillac. This is a lifetime memory and a source of pride for us.